Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. Uh, Samsung Ks-8000 Project Cars 2 PC version running on 3840 by 2160 60 Hertz native 4K. As you can see, everything's set to ultra settings, and it's the Tropic 16 by. That's the filtering I'm using for textures, so the highest possible filtering on the textures with the native 4K, and everything else it's set to ultra high. So I just want to go through this really quick and show you that everything it's pretty much set to ultra setting and high settings. Now I do have a beefy PC. I mean, I do have a 7th generation very powerful CPU processor, i7-7700K with a boost speed. I do have 16 gigs of very bus memory speed, DDR4 RAM, 16 gigs, and of course GeForce GTX 1070 with 8 gigabytes of GDDR5 X RAM. I'm not sure what the X RAM stands for, but it's probably a higher bus speed. So, you know, it's a pretty beefy PC compared to Xbox One X, obviously. But anyway, I just want to show you a little bit, and so you can see for what it's worth through this camera on how it handles and how it looks. You know, now don't expect to get, as you can see right here, it's 33 frames. Don't expect for me to get 60 frames per second with everything set to ultra settings and native 4K and HDR. It's just not going to happen, okay? So let's go ahead and let's do this. I mean, one thing you always notice when you're running game on a native 4K with higher textures, you do notice that everything looks more vivid, more detailed, but don't expect the frame rates to be at the 60 frames per second. I'm currently getting, what, 38, 39, 40, as you guys can see it on the top left corner. And quite honestly, I'm okay with that. You know, I have no issue with that. I'm okay with 40 frames per second, considering that, you know, this is a very demanding GPU game. I'm sure if I moved everything to high settings or medium to high settings, I'd probably be getting 60 frames per second easy. But still, it handles pretty well, even, you know, even at the native 4K and ultra settings. And this also begs the question on if developers will be able to squeeze 60 frames per second. They could squeeze 60 frames per second, but with like medium to high settings. You know, let's be fair. You know, Xbox One X will have to sacrifice that medium to high settings and turn some filters off in order to achieve that steady native 4K 60 FPS. I can achieve, even here, I can achieve easily 60 FPS. All I have to do is just turn a bunch of filters off and then reduce everything to high settings and medium. But I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of that frame rate to get the better detail and fidelity. So I'm okay with 40 frames per second, but at least I'm going to enjoy much better clarity, you know what I mean? And in case you were wondering what TV am I using, I'm using the Samsung Ks-8000 65-inch TV, 4K TV. And somebody else asked me yesterday, like, what's so unique about Project Cars 2? Well, one thing that's very unique about Project Cars 2, it's the endless amount of customization, from car to video to gameplay to everything. You can customize everything in this game. It's pretty much unlocked racing sim. And that's what makes it so uniquely great, you know. Here, let's drive like this a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better detail. Let's just pause here for a minute just so you can see all this detail, everything that's going on. Look at that rain. Look at that sea down there and everything. So I'm okay with sacrificing, you know, a little bit of that frame rate, 40 frames per second, in order for me to enjoy this 4K eye candy. I'm okay with that. Now, when I go to virtual reality, I get full 60 FPS. You know, it's fully immersive experience on the VR. But remember, the whole point here is for you to enjoy the eye candy, like right here, you know. And this is what you want when you are playing this game. You want everything at ultra settings, and you want to be able to enjoy this fidelity of detail. And that's what's so great about this game. You do have that ability to customize this game any which way you want. If you want the eye candy, you can have the eye candy. If you don't want the eye candy and you want the performance, you can do that as well. You know, there's endless of customization on this game. As I said, you know, if you have a really powerful PC, you can go up to 12K. And going up to 12K, that's pretty remarkable, if you ask me. But you will have to do that on like surround monitors to achieve that 12K resolution. I don't know what kind of PC you would need. Probably some SLI 1080 Ti's or Titan X or something like that. Probably a couple of Titan X's. Pascal, fully unlocked Pascal Titan X's. Maybe three or four Titan X's you will need just to pull that kind of ridiculous amount of detail, of pixelation. So it'll be really interesting for me to compare Project Cars 2 with Forza 7. Like I said, the one thing that Project Cars got going for it, it's endless amount of customization. And that's what makes it so unique. Meaning you'll be playing this game for a long time till the next Project Cars comes out. And it's really a true sim. You know, it's got everything you need on a racing sim that you would want. It even has a snowstorm. It has a snow blizzard, believe it or not. You can play night, day, sunset, with a haze, with a fog. You know, you got so many different variations that you can do with this game. And I think that's why it's so unique. And it looks fantastic in native 4K, you know. It really does. Now, in terms of controls, the game, it really depends on what type of car you're using. Each car is very unique and very different, so you will have to adjust your car settings, your control settings based on the environment, based on the car that you're using. So it really depends, you know. But once you get it all tweaked out, once you get everything going, then you truly immerse yourself in this racing game. I guess we can do a little bit of replay. We can check out the replay a little bit. We can go. Look at the replay a little bit. Now, someone said to me, well, but Forza 7 has a little bit better engine, and I agree. I do agree that the Forza 7 has a little bit better engine, but Project Cars 2 has a very unique engine as well, and Project Cars 2, from what I understand, definitely utilizes DirectX 12. But you also have to keep in mind that Project Cars 2, it's not just mainly focused on graphics. I think Forza 7 mainly focused on graphics. Project Cars 2, it's mainly focused on the sheer size of customization and tweaks and just endless amount of customability and choices that you can choose from on this racing sim. It's really giving you a variety of different choices, unlocked, total freedom, variety of different choices, and I think that's what this Project Cars 2, it's mainly focused on. It's sheer size of options that it's available. Just look at this, man. Just look at that rain, the raindrops. I guess we can pause it. We can pause it right here, and then we can check out the camera a little bit. Look at these raindrops, every and each individual raindrop. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see it. Just look at that. I mean, graphically, the PC version is the best. Xbox One X version, we'll see something close to this. It's not going to be exactly like this. They're going to have to turn a bunch of features off, like certain filterings won't be able to go to 16 times, maybe 8 times. The MSAA, AA, anti-aliasing, multi-sampling, maybe 1 time to 2 times. Don't expect it to go to 4 times or 8 times. So, you know, there's certain things that they're gonna have to cut down on too. They're gonna have to cut that fat so they can go ahead and have that native 4K HDR with 60 frames per second. You know, and another thing I want to talk about, you know, for me personally, and I know there's a lot of you out there, you know, only have a console, have Xbox One S, you know, and you never experienced the true 4K with HDR. I get it, I understand that. And for some of you, this is going to be very exciting because this will be your first time to stepping into native 4K and HDR. So this November 7th, when you finally get the Xbox One X and you connect it to your 4K TV with HDR and with the added graphics fidelity with higher textures and better volumetric lighting and filters, all of these different things, when they come into place, you're definitely going to be amazed, because you're stepping up from Xbox One or Xbox One S into a gigantic leap, you know, and you're definitely going to enjoy it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how this looks on maxed out settings, ultra settings, and hopefully you guys like this video. Also, make sure to check out my previous video and the one about the Solid Snake readout. It's a funny video. Someone asked me yesterday in terms of Apple 4K TV. I haven't heard anything bad about it. I think it's definitely worth it. I mean, for $180, $190, 32 gigs. Or if you can get the one that's $200, $220, 64 gig. If you have a 4K TV and HDR, yeah, you should definitely go for it. You know, it has a lot of cool features built into it. Just the fact alone that it supports HDR and Dolby Vision out of the gate, and the fact that it'll support Dolby Atmos. It has the hardware inside that's necessary to support the Dolby Atmos. So it's definitely a cool device. It's really, if you have a 4K, I mean, yeah, you should feed your 4K TV with the Apple content. You have to remember, Apple will have much better streaming, much better quality stream bitrate than, let's say, Voodoo, you know, all these other, you know, companies, because it's Apple. You know, Apple's gigantic. It's the multi-billionaire company, and you know, they work with Hollywood. They have all sorts of different technical abilities with super high-end servers, so they'll be able to deliver that, you know. But once I get my hands on it, I'll do my official analysis, my official review on it once I get my hands on it. Did you guys notice how cool this is? You can see every and each individual raindrop here. Just look at this. You can see every and each individual raindrop. Look at that. Alright, so anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. I'll check you on my next video.